So if you are looking to land yourself a pen testing job, perhaps from scratch, potentially you already work in the field, you just want to get a higher paying job, what can you do with your resume to optimize your chances of getting exactly that? We cover that in this video here, so stay tuned. Hey, what's up guys? This is Ryan from Elevate Cyber. And this video is my top tips for sort of optimizing your resume in order to land a job in cybersecurity. Pen testing specifically. The offensive side, really pen testing, but it should also apply to the other offensive roles as well, such as red team. So the first thing that I'm going to start off with is really important, is that you really market yourself in the best way possible. I mean, that kind of goes without saying, but it is important. Understand that what you need to do is you need to kind of put yourself in the eyes of an employer, right? So even if you don't have any experience in the field of cybersecurity, you need to be able to highlight your previous jobs, really bring out the best in them, like what you learned, and kind of tailor it to your specific job, right? So I know this sounds kind of tedious. This sounds like it will be a lot more work, but it's definitely worth it to kind of look at what jobs that are out there that you want and tailor, at least have like your resume, have that on a file, but then also modify that resume a little bit just to sort of tailor it towards whatever specific position that you are looking to be hired for, right? So that would be one of the biggest tips that I would give, is just really sort of targeting your resume towards a specific job, right? So maybe changing that the statement at the top of like what that says what you're looking for, right? Kind of change that to really fit best for that position at hand. Now, the second tip that I would give, I would say this is also extremely important, and I don't think it gets talked about a lot, right? The time of this video is, the year is 2021, right? We live in an extremely digital age, right? Everything is kind of getting automated nowadays, right? Everything is very digitized, if you will. So with that being said, the way that a lot of your resumes are sort of filtered through by employers is not even by an actual real life person. Rather, they feed it through a sort of automated system where it's basically scanning your resume and looking for certain keywords. So this is why, I've talked about this before, this is why it's really important to have certain, keywords in your resume, right? Certain maybe certifications, if you want to go down the certifications route. No, you don't have to have certifications to land a job in this field. Contrary to what other people might tell you, you do not have to have any certifications to land a job in this. They can definitely help, for sure. But if you are getting certifications, know that because of this automated system and how they a lot of times just run it through automation, the certification that you get, the sort of reputability or the reputation of that certification actually matters, right? Because maybe they're filtering it through an automated system that's looking for, the most common ones like OSCP, CEH, stuff like that, right? SANS. That might be the automated, keywords that it's actually checking for. And if you don't have it, you might have a really great certification that was extremely hands-on and you learned a lot from it and it was difficult and rigorous, but you won't even get really credited for that because it's just being looked at by an automated system. Now, here's another thing that can happen. Even in the case that the company that you apply for is a little bit more old school and they have people looking through the resumes, spending time out of their days, like actually looking and reading through your resumes. Thing is, I would say 90% of the time, the people that are doing that are more general HR people. And then these people are definitely, less versed and less familiar with our specific industry, our specific field of, offensive security. So they're not going to necessarily know that you might have one of the really rigorous, really hands-on certifications, but they might not even know what that is, right? Most likely, they were just told that, hey, OSCP is good, CEH is good, this one's good, and if it's a little bit lesser known certification and stuff, they might not really know what that really is, what it entails, and that it is good. Now, that being said, once you get farther into the interview process, there definitely comes a time where you're going to be talking to people that are actually in that field, right? You're going to be talking to the people that are working on that team, the team that you're going to join or whatever, and they're probably going to interview you. And then they're going to be familiar with those other certifications, the ones that are, more rigorous but lesser known. And that's when that will come into play. So I'm not saying don't go for those certifications. I'm not saying don't go for those certifications at all. There's definitely a time and place for them. But if you're just starting out with certifications, I would recommend first getting the well-known ones just to get your foot in the door. And then you can go and get the lesser-known ones that are probably a lot better than the well-known ones. That's just a little thought there. But as it relates to the whole resume topic, that's what you want to focus on being able to put on there first. Now, another thing that is, the number 3 tip that I have is that a lot of times companies are really looking for your experience level. Now, here's one hack for you. In the field of security, and you could apply this to all of IT, certainly to programming as well, the advantage is you don't actually need a job in this field in order to get some experience, right? So you could actually create like your own company on the side, a cybersecurity company, and you could offer cyber services or whatever to maybe people maybe you're in college and you can establish maybe even if it's something as small as a blog site, you could create that now, and you can put that on your resume as like, you have this and this is how you impacted positively, your clients. You provided, I don't know, for example, in college, you provided pen testing services. This is personally what I did, right? When I was in college, I created my own little company where I would know a lot of people that were programmers and stuff like that, right? So I would offer them for free. It was like a free thing. I didn't get paid or anything. I offered them a free pen test service as I was getting into this stuff. And I just ran like a lot of Kali tools on their web apps and did some basic checks that I knew, like the OWASP top 10 type checks. And then I would, give them little vulnerability reports, right? Well, that's experience. Don't discredit things like that. And even if you haven't done that when you were in college and you're just getting started now later in life, it's never too late to start. Like, you could start up something like that. Maybe you know some people in the IT space that could benefit from that. You just do it for free or whatever. And then that's a way you can get experience, right? And then you can honestly and congruently say on your resume that you have 5 years experience in this field. And if they ask you about it and you explain it, don't discredit yourself. Sell yourself well. A lot of times employers, when they hear stuff like that, they'll think that's really cool. They'll be like, wow, not only does that show you have experience, for 5 years, which for a lot of companies, they look for like 5 years experience. For whatever reason, that's the number. But not only does it show that you have some experience, it also shows that you took the initiative to go off on your own and learn stuff. And that is a really highly valued thing for you in this field, most certainly. Now, the number 4 tip that I would give is that it relates to resume length. Now, this is something that I learned actually from some professors in college, and it was one of the few things that I can honestly say that I learned in college, and I still use it to this day after I graduated. It's actually that useful. and that is keep your resume down to one page. Don't make it multiple pages. Can you get away with a multiple page resume? Yeah, certainly. And, maybe if you're super senior in this field, maybe there's a reason why you need multiple pages. But if you're watching this video, chances are you don't have tons and tons of security related stuff on your resume. If you have to get rid of your high school accolades and stuff, get rid of them. Like, no one cares anymore, right? No one cares that you were like the band captain or like the leader of the chess club or whatever. You just get that out of the way. And, as you become older, get rid of all the college stuff then as well. Basically you want to put all the most recent stuff on there. That being said, it should be pretty easy to shrink that down into a one-pager, right? Now, the reason I know this is useful is because not only did my professors teach me this, but recently I acquired a new job within my field last year. And one of the things, even going on multiple interviews with different companies, one thing that I heard multiple times from recruiters was they really appreciated that my resume was down to a page, because a lot of people, they have like these multi-page resumes and it's just more of a hassle for them to read through. There's more fluff. They liked how mine was like direct, straight to the point. So keep yourself to the point and try to keep it down to one page. This a pretty nice hack that you could employ that really helps you out when it comes to your resume. And now the fifth tip for this video that I would give you is that you want to include some technical skills that you have, right? List your skills. Have a list of skills on your resume that you have. And this is where, going back to the first tip, you can really tailor your resume to the specific job that you are looking for. You can look at what are the job requirements listed on their website for that role, or on whatever website for that specific role. And just, if you have those skills, make sure that you include that in your resume that you submit to that job when you apply. Because if they are specifically calling out certain skills, like for example, you look for a pen test role and they say must know C# and be proficient with Burp Suite and Nmap and stuff like that, for example, right? Well, if on your resume, under your list of skills, you put Nmap, Burp Suite, and C# programming, then you're a lot more likely to, going back to the automated thing, right, have the automation pick up on those keywords, get your foot in the door, or at the very least have if they have an HR person looking at the resumes, they'll notice those things, and you're much more likely to get past the original screening process, right? And so now the other thing that I would say, and this doesn't really relate specifically to resumes, but if you can network, if you can go to a networking event, I know there's less in-person events with the state of the world nowadays, but if you can find yourself a meetup or a networking event, recruiting event, or just network with people and get invited to stuff, a lot of times you can actually really position yourself well. There'll be recruiters there, or maybe even at conferences, network with people, and they might be recruiting. And that is honestly one of the best hacks, because it allows you to bypass this funnel of just tons and tons of people submitting resumes online to a job. And that gets your foot in the door and gets you past that from waiting in that line and being funneled and filtered through. So if you can network with people, then a lot of times you can get an interview straight up sometimes even. So that would be one of my bonus tips for you guys. So I hope this video was helpful. If so, definitely subscribe for more similar content. It lets me know that this is interesting to you guys, this is useful, and hit the like button as well. And I will see you guys in the next video.